Imagine not being able to marry the one that you love because it was illegal. Before 2008, people of the same sex were not legally able to marry in the state of California. Not legally being able to marry someone that you love because it is not accepted nor understood by others divides people apart, and it goes against their God given right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Proposition 8 was a specific proposition that was created to go against the legalization of same sex marriage. Proposition 8, known informally as Proposition 8, was California's valid proposition and state constitutional amendment passed in November 2008. California state elections. The proposition was created by opponents of same sex marriage in advance of the California Supreme May 2008 appeal ruling. Legal challenges to Proposition 8 were presented by opponents quickly after its approval, following affirmation by the state courts. Okay. Two same-sex couples filed a lawsuit against the initiative in the United States District Court for Northern District of California in the case Perry versus Schwarzenegger. In August 10th, Chief Judge Van Walker ruled that the amendment was unconstitutional under both the due process and equal protection clauses of the 14th Amendment, since it purported to remove from a disfavored class only with no racial biases. The court ruled that it was unconstitutional for California to grant marriage rights to the same-sex couples, only to take them away shortly after. The ruling was stayed pending appeal to the United States Supreme Court. Today, I will be informing you of the reasons that it is completely unlawful and wrong to disallow someone's right to marry based on their gender choices. I will be sharing stories and justifications as to why it is not right to keep someone from being able to legally marry someone of the same sex. When dealing with a medical emergency, if you have a spouse or a civil partner, they will be their first choice. If you, one of your adult children or parents will be designated. Other family members, such as siblings, may be given the power to make medical decisions for you if you do not have children or parents who are capable of doing this. The reason this is so important is because you are unable to legally marry your partner. They should be unable to make the decision for you in the case of an emergency. If Proposition 8 were to have been passed, then someone that was denied the right to marry partners would be left with no choice of deciding what would happen to them. In a case of significant others being on life support, the partner would be unable to make the decision whether to keep them alive or pull the plug. This is why it is very crucial that this proposition stay in place to allow people of same-sex marriage to legally marry and be considered married on paper. This also is very important in terms of medical purposes because of health benefits as well. Being legally married to someone allows you to be under another's health benefits and insurance. This means that if a husband or wife receives health care through their jobs, their wife or husband may be listed under them, so they may receive these benefits as well. This is important because if someone was unable to marry their partner, they would be denied those benefits of health care. If there was an emergency, their partner would not be health coverage to get the health care that was needed to treat them. This is why Proposition 8 not only not being passed was so important. There cannot be a divide between people who wish to marry the same sex Denying these benefits would be unfair and unequal. People who decide to marry the same sex should not be denied the same legal rights that are given to people who marry the same sex. And these benefits should not be denied from anyone, no matter their sexual orientation. For couples who don't already have a good financial strategy in place, tax and estate planning are probably the areas where they're seeing the biggest incentive to tie the knot. You need to consult a tax professional in these areas. But when a couple is legally married, an unlimited amount of assets can be transferred as a gift or as an inheritance from a spouse to another, with no tax consequences. That is not the case for an unmarried partner. Even more importantly, as an unmarried partner, if you die without a will or trust, we certainly don't recommend that. But if it happens, your partner won't be legally entitled to any inheritance of your estate. This is why it is necessary to allow people to legally marry to help take care of their partner in case of an unexpected death or a health emergency. To allow someone to marry whom they want to marry is something that has benefited beyond just general happiness. There's so many aspects of that. Aspects of it that are crucial to the lives of those who decide to marry the same sex. There are the medical decisions that correspond, allowing their partners to make important life-threatening decisions. There is their health benefit aspect, dealing with insurance policies and CARE Act benefits to insure partners. And lastly, there are aspects of inheritance for their partners that would help a partner inherit their partner's benefits in case of a death or emergency. There are all very important reasons that the same-sex marriage is more than just happiness. It goes deep into the legal issues that would occur if a partner were unable to marry whom they choose. Proposition 8 was a prop that would have kept people of the same sex from having all these benefits that people of the opposite sex have. Proposition 8 is one that should not be passed because it would take the right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness away from people who may be different but are still human.